Since the invasion of China in 1937, the might of Japan has been on the march, and the rising sun has spread its sinister rays over almost a fifth of the globe. It is an empire based on the ruthless exploitation of those countries under its control. It is a philosophy of fear and destruction. It is a belief that one nation is preeminent among all other races of the earth, that every Japanese, through effort and through destiny, is to shape the future of the world. That this man, Hirohito, is God. He declared on December 7th, 1941, "We, by the grace of heaven, Emperor of Japan, seated on a throne unbroken for ages eternal, enjoin upon you, his loyal and brave subjects, that we hereby declare war on the United States of America and the British Empire, to ensure the stability of East Asia and to contribute to world peace." This was the far-sighted policy formulated by our great illustrious imperial grandsire, that the source of evil shall be speedily eradicated and an enduring peace immutably established, preserving thereby and for all time the glory of our empire. But already...
You know what I'd do?
You tell us what you do, Pom.
Take one a day, march him out there in front of all the others, in front of all his friends. And I say, right, my lovies, who's not going to do some digging today, I'm not, says our little yellow friends. No worky. And the next day you move on to number 2, End of the week you'd have the busiest little army of workers you'd ever heard of.
You'd pick them up too, would you? Little pile of brains, a bucket of guts.
Private Hotel not lurking around, is he, Not killed up under the bed or anything? Then I'll let you in on the next secret. We'd get the dark gentleman to attend to that side of things. No need to soil the lily whites, you know.
I might let Ty on that one, Pom. He might have a few notions about how to deal with you too.
Oh, come now, Just because your feet are sore, there's no need to turn on the allies. We don't want Pom here ending up in someone's cooking pot. Now do we? Hiya, hiya.
I'd watch my step for a while if I were you, Tiger.
Yeah, him? Nah.
Bloody tongue, Richard.
I wouldn't let him get under your skin like that, Jacko.
It's that bloody moustache of his. That's what gets on my wick. Little string of weasel piss. No wonder the Jacks love him.
And what?
Haven't you seen him? Great one for handing out cigarettes, that kind of thing.
Oh, we all do that kind of thing though, don't we?
Yeah, but him, he butters them up, and then they make those little trinket affairs for him. Little boxes, finicky things they're good at. And then he goes and knocks them off in town. No better than they are.
Well, Tony reckons they're pretty much like us. Give or take a bit.
Tell me another.
Well, I try to see them as our fellow men. Love their neighbour, you know? I've always been one for that if I can.
Not as easy as it sounds though, is it?
Well, the thing is, none of us believe in evil. Believe in good. We all just kind of try to see what's right in front of us. We never really think about what's behind it. We're just sort of like puppets.
Well, I'm not sure if that tack gets you far either.
Not sure myself, quite what I mean.
Have you ever watched the ones who sweep up the huts and that? Real worker ones?
Everyone knows this all the time. How can I miss them?
Yeah, but have you ever taken a real squiz at them? I'd say it's more like watching cats than people.
Cats?
It's the way they move, the way they stalk around with bare feet, let alone what goes on up here.
Name, Akira, Dutch. Rank, Lieutenant, Imperial Air Force. Age, 26. Beliefs, Japanese. Wife, unmarried. General condition, middle class A1. Slight injury leaves no appreciable psychological scars. Prisoner dismissed. Thanks. None of which, of course, is true. Apart to my age, 26. Recently married to Akiko, daughter of father's partner in small commercial business, Ibaraki City, Kyoto Prefecture. My wife, need I say, is not a rather traditional stage prop, with that photograph in my wallet, head-touching the gaunt of our master. I'm also the father of one son, Kenji, named after my own father. Unlike average Western soldier, I feel certain things more sharply than separation from family, such as shame that I'm a prisoner at all, shame that I'm not gloriously dead, fear that I might survive this period of imprisonment and return home to the eternal humiliation of my parents. Therefore, my primary desire is to die rather than live.
There are now 800 prisoners in this camp, consisting of 3 groups. The first group consists of 500 men from the work unit, fairly coolie class who often no problem to speak of. There are 300 NCOs and other ranks who are marginally more intelligent, usually tractable, probably not bad soldiers into the bargain, except the occasional moroseness, quite a tolerable kind of prisoner. And a small third group.
This group is comprised only of officers, drawn from a superior class, better educated, more articulate in their aspirations and their demands.
Precisely.
When you're ultimate officer, I of course refer to the Emperor. And when that ultimate officer is, in fact, God, obedience means great more than the average Western soldier understands.
We do have the King's Commission, damn it.
You will excuse my slight skepticism at that comparison.
And you continue to still believe that you are at war, as combatants.
We continue to insist that our duty and our privilege is to ensure the triumph of Japan.
Dear oh dear.
The privilege of our existence is still to kill.
Kill?
You, personally.
Charlie? Oh, Charlie! Oh, how's the old English coming along, eh? Oh, how is the English?
Sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning? What you on about morning, eh? Good evening.
Good evening?
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
English good, eh?
Oh, yeah. Good.
Yeah. Fuck. Good English word, eh?
Sir?
Oh, well, go on then, say it. Say fuck.
Fuck.
Good boy, Charlie. Emperor. Say that, Charlie.
Emperor?
Oh, clever lad, Charlie. Clever lad. Now, Charlie, I want you to say, fuck, emperor. Got that?
Get off home, Charlie. You're just a mound of shit, Pong. Anyone ever told you that?
Hey, what have those little rats ever done for you, eh? Smiling, scraping ass, licking and bowing. Want to talk some of those blokes being up there in the islands? Might open your eyes a bit. Find out what your mates get up to once they've got the upper hand.
I know what they do.
Then let them eat a little bit of shit every once in a while, then, eh? At least we don't knock their teeth out, put wire around their balls. The way tiny and rest you go on about them makes me puke, makes me bloody sick.
Do it outside then.
Look, Jacko, I don't know why you turn on me all of a sudden. It's not my fault we're stuck in the stump. You're no more pissed off than the rest of us.
that little joker there. I suppose it's his fault that there's a war on, is it?
Come on. He put a knife up your gun and quick as a look at you. But don't you worry. You heard what they did to Ty's brother, didn't you?
Ty's brother-in-law.
Oh, brother-in-law then. What's that got to do with it? Now you heard what they did. They cut his fucking head off. Like the top of an egg or something.
I suppose he'd feel better about they shot him.
You can tell Ty that one. He's up there in the home mat in his outfit now. I mean, you know how stirred up those hories get. Tell you it's all the same, I'll tell you. I wouldn't fancy being a nip with Ty's boot round here from now on.
Ty's not like some I can think of. He's a good soldier.
Good soldier, eh? Look, hardly 50 years ago, what was his lot up to? Invitation to dinner with the Nati Poo-Has. You'd want to know what end of the fork you're on? I can tell you, I wouldn't fancy being around when the Coomras ran out.
Well, if it's the bloody Poms they ate first, it's a pity they gave out.
You know, Jacko, I like the way you take advantage of the fact that I don't turn nasty, eh? The way you trade on my disposition.
Choice between you and Charlie, most of us already have our minds made up.
Oh, this place.
Haven't hit a run higher up, have you?
Just cut one down.
What? You've what?
Another bloke in number 2 hut, a bit taller than the rest.
Izuto, the one with the scar.
Strung himself up in the kitchen. Poor blooded didn't make much of a job of it. Must have been swinging there for hours by the look of it.
Hey, you had to cut him down, you mean?
Out with it anyway.
Here, go a snort, could you? I've got a drop here.
Wouldn't help much.
Hey, I ain't missing out on this one. That joker, he's been giving me the pricker for weeks now. Hey, usual place, is he? Hut next to the Merricks?
Here you are. Here's to something. End of all this crap.
Mad, you know, isn't it? Here we are, 4th year of a world war, and half the blokes I know are in Europe or in the Pacific or in the real of it. Me, I'm 34 years old and I've got asthma enough for me to never leave New Zealand. The whole world's in the business of killing, and this is the first time I've ever touched a dead body. First time I've ever seen one.
It's got to be the first time for anything, ain't it?
He says there's nothing further to explain about it, sir.
A dead man doesn't suddenly just happen. There's a reason for everything.
For why you and I are soldiers, for instance, why he and his lot are prisoners. If this is some sort of uncertain plan to unnerve us, then they're going to be in for a pretty big surprise. You might tell them that.
You might also tell him that we don't have as much time on our hands as he does.
The Commandant is quite dissatisfied with your answers. He suspects Izutu's death may be part of a concerted plan. He admits there's a united feeling of disgrace.
Oh, this is getting us nowhere.
What these people do not understand is that I have the privilege to be part of a military tradition. My grandfather was one of the oldest men to die in the Patriotic War of 1905. He carried with him into battle the silk-bound dagger of his father's father. My father also served with distinction. I married the daughter of my own commanding officer. I am one in a line of many who have served their country.
諸国のボスさん、非諸国の花いご族の幸せを祖先に乗った。
The week before I left my homeland, I traveled with my father to a small but ancient temple where the ashes of our ancestors are kept in jars and a wall of many inches. It was there that I pledged my spirit in the honor of theirs.
The man was part of a tradition. It seems he couldn't live with defeat and remain the same man.
Oh, come now, Corporal, that may be the background to it, but it hardly explains this.
Well, it seems for personal reasons. The man had been depressed for some time.
It seems to me, Corporal, that if your translations are accurate, then the entire Japanese armed forces are filled with men that cannot survive the disappointment of not being kamikaze.
Kamikaze! The divine wind that overturned the invading fleet of Genghis Khan. The saving spirit of Japan. Your commandant finds our reasoning unacceptable. That is only natural that a group of men like yourselves, who has no memory of the past, no sense of destiny for a future, a present defined by what? A certain number of sheep? A full stomach? A king on the other side of the world who regards his dad as his right? A king who's only a man like yourselves.
What was that?
He thanks you for seeing matters so sympathetically.
Good man. You chaps shape up. We'll get along pretty well. I've tried to make things clear. Dismissed.
Here. What's this, eh? Found a book, did we? A Bible! Jesus!
Oh, yes, Jesus. Jesus, him. Why? You tell why?
Now come off it. You've picked the wrong bloke this time. Not to open this on country.
Why? Why?
Why bloody what? What do you want about?
Him, God, man. Why? Him, God. You think God? Why? Read.
You want me to read it?
Read.
Me?
Yes, read, please.
He raiseth the sun on the evil and on the good. He sendeth rain on the just and unjust. And I say unto you, do good to those who hate you. Love your enemy. Look, English man for this paper, not me.
No, more read. Cross. God on cross? No. Jesus on cross. Just a consider.
What are you laughing about, you bloody heathens? If you listen to some of that stuff a bit more, none of you might have been here right now. Bit of decent stuff like that, instead of crawling around in front of your idols.
Read.
Would you lay off? Put the thing away, put the plain thing away. list. It'll take years to explain it all to you. Sammy? Look, I'll get Ernie onto you. He's the man for this sort of thing, not me.
Jesus God?
Would you lay off? Much. What do you think we're providing here? 4-star service?
It is 8 months since the first prisoners came in. Came by night, by train, through an empty country of hills and animals and open spaces. But no men!
To the furthest place on earth from our imperial homeland.
Where are we? We are tested by humiliation, by fears, by loneliness. The divine effulgence is undimmed.
Blessed are the peacemakers. What means?
It has now been over 2 years since most of us have been home.
We heard from the lies of interpreters that the Guadalcanal is in the hands of the enemies.
We've seen them come from the sky like devils.
We prefer not to listen. We prefer to think, always. Japan!
I was hungry, and you fed me? What means?
We are tested by humiliation, by fears, by loneliness. The divine effulgence is undimmed.
He maketh his rising sun on the good and the evil. He makes all men the sons of God. What means?
It's not the matter of who's holding the gun or who's behind barbed wire. Is it? It's about thinking white and about thinking yellow. Get them to think white. You're halfway there.
Up against the wall. Right then, what I'm going to drum into you jokers is a few fundamentals about football. Savvy? Good. Because it's the commandant's orders that you'd all be a good deal better off if you ran around a bit, got into a few rucks and things, instead of this hand-dog fucking expression you got in your lookers most of the time. Now, I don't need you getting the wrong idea. I know you're not made to be footballers. And I certainly don't want you arsing around once you got the hang of it.
Arsing?
Got that fidget too, have you? Now, I know you're all going to make utter bloody fools of yourselves when you try. But it's what number one that goes around this place. And when the big chief speaks, you either jump or get a boot up the brow. Now, I'm presuming on your behalf, we would all rather jump. So, from now on, gentlemen, from Tuesdays to Thursdays at 3 o'clock, I'm going to teach you all to think like white men for 30 minutes each way. I will explain the rules to you all very carefully, and once they have sunk in, if you don't ruck and scrum and kick the ball and kick for touch, then by God I would not want to be in your shoes.
Rock?
Scrum?
The guts of the game is to beat the living shit out of the other side until one of yous is still on your feet. Because whether you like it or not, we are going to civilize you. Right? Right.
You ever think about what surprises them the most? The thing they find hardest to understand. We don't behave badly to them. We don't shoot them when they're stropping.
A few of them are starting to catch on to that.
Do you know what annoys me more than anything else about them? Nah, I'm on the level for this one. It's those bloody camp concerts they put up, eh? Not just the chalk faces they tar up when they're doing their own stuff. You'd expect that sort of crap. It's when they sing our songs with their own words. God, does it get me?
Yeah, you're a good hater, Paul. I'll give you that.
Hey, do I go round knocking jokers' heads off, eh? Bombing Pearl Harbor, showing up the Emperor, bonsai, shoving 6 inches of steel into somebody.
Can't say I've had the chance.
Yeah, well, the old man's right about that one anyway.
What one?
Never make the mistake of thinking they're the same as we are. You've heard him say that.
Yeah, and I'd like to listen to your night poem, but the other interpreter's crook.
Hey, grab a handful of rice your way across. You want to talk like them, might as well eat like them too. Why don't you sing a few hymns with them while you're at it, eh?
I'd keep off that tech if I were you.
Oh, come on. No jokes even in this hut anymore.
Hello, Ty.
Tired?
Folks alright at home?
Yeah, pretty good.
Get any more info on it, Ty?
What?
Information about your brother-in-law?
What about him?
Just find out any more from home? How he died in that?
Look, why don't you just give it a break, Paul?
Oh, come on, they must have heard something, mustn't they, eh? Oh, there's a friend of mine here, all right? Sense of comradeship. Home away from home.
E hika mai, kei te tūturu tonu, te toto i tāku manua. Kai kini ana, te tau o te ate. Tāku tau kauhurangi, ka riro, kei pairau. Kei te hui ngā o te kauhurangi, ka o te ati kautau, e hika mai I e. My brother-in-law, 24, Pākehā, good bloke. He married my sister Mary. They were both 19. 2 kids, other on the way. My sister, she just sits at the house at home now. She won't come out or anything. Our nanny took the 2 boys. She just sits there. She doesn't cry or anything. She sits in front of the range all day. And it's not even on. Then about 10 days ago, this car comes down the road towards our farm. Maybe Nami Kamita was saying, her kids, they're dancing around here, they're thinking, here come Mum. Dad must have caught a ride from the city. Yeah, that's the story. Even Dad reckons, before he gets halfway across the paddock, he's thinking, wonder what people we're going to kill. How many dozens we're going to get a taxi to bring out from the pub? E hika mai e. Kua hoki mai tāku hungaunga. He hākiri. Karangatia te iwi e. E. Then this bloke, cap on, uniform sort of, but not army after all, see? He'd get out, he'd go,
Where's the lady around here?
that's then Mary knew, even before he gave her the piece of paper. You know, Dad's the one who opened the telegram. He sat on the top step of the Randolph. You know, the kids, they're still thinking something's good, eh? But our nanny, she gets the hang of it. What happened to our Tom? She starts to sing Waitatangi, Kingi Mate. When she sings, everyone knows. Men on the farm, women over the sheds, Other children down by the river all know something real bad's happened. He haitua e kore e tame e hoki mai. No, not our Tom's not coming back. You know, the worst thing of it all is Mere, you know. All she does now is just sits there. She sits there and just turns this ring on her finger. She just turns and turns.
You must appreciate our confusion. Most of us have now been here for over a year. Nothing is clear. Nothing.
The honorable man is beheaded. The dishonoured survive.
Kotoba ke kairi imatu imasu.
Both sides feel that language now that we understand a little of each other, maybe more of a barrier than when we understood nothing at all.
You see, when we understood nothing, it was easy to imagine that we understood a great deal.
Now that we understand these Pacific Englishmen a little, there is great confusion. There is no scheme into which they fit. I've got no more inkling what this crowd's been up to now than 6 months ago. Give you an example. Last week, I was with my lot down by the river filling sandbags. Hot as hell. Sand flies, hard to feel like that. So I said, Friday boys, take a dip if you want. Went in myself, as a matter of fact. Left the old 303 leaning on a rock. I thought, I know these blokes well enough. I can trust them. And I was right. That same night, one from that very group went for a guard with a knife. One who had been having hijinks down by the river with us, like a kid at a picnic. How are you going to explain that one?
You see, everything is so simple if masters behave as masters.
We are losing respect because we are losing fear. They do not behave as soldiers.
It seems to matter to them whether we like them or not. They are like children.
The real problem, as I touched on a little earlier, is that their own government has quite abandoned them.
A Japanese soldier is no longer the responsibility of his homeland. In essence, home no longer exists.
You see, where this is at its most pathetic is where the soldiers refuse to provide their true names and rank. They no longer wish to exist.
Not one prisoner has sent a letter home. Not one has been received.
Which is why some of us assume the names of cultured heroes, or the names of famous warriors. The absurdity of the totally defeated.
There's a report from the Red Cross International Committee which says this. The Japanese prisoner does not ask for any kind of attention. Indeed, he does not understand why he should be treated humanely, or why the Red Cross should have any interest in his fate. How is anyone supposed to make anything of that?
The death of our soldiers in Japanese camps is 7 times higher than that of the POW camps in the European theatre of war. That must tell us something.
Instruction of Tojo Japanese Prime Minister. In Japan, we have our own ideology concerning prisoners of war, which should make their treatment more or less different from those in Europe or America.
In case a prisoner of war is found guilty of an act of insubordination, he shall be subject to imprisonment or arrest, and any other measure deemed necessary for the purpose of discipline may be added.
From Japanese military field club, Japanese forces do not surrender to the enemy under any circumstances.
Under any circumstances.
Under any circumstances. The proportion of Japanese prisoners to Japanese military killed in action. 1 dishonorable dead. 120 honorable killed.
You see, half the problem is not a single soldier has received so much as a word to do on capture. They simply have nothing to go off, no guidelines, nothing.
Just as we no longer instruct our men on what to do after death. That is the comparison.
A small number of us are fascinated by your religion. Turn the other cheek. Love your neighbors. Love those who persecute you. Blessed are the meek. This is like a light that we could not see. Why? Jesus God? What means?
There are many more like myself. Those like Sergeant Azuto.
Kitchen knife can be honed as sharp as a razor. So can a piece of beaten tin.
Given in death.
As given life.
Life and in death.
In death as in life.
Again, from Field Service Code, Regard for Reputation, Chapter 2. Those who know shame are strong. Never live with shame. Never die in disgrace.
You're writing, eh?
Writing?
Letter, you're writing a letter.
Not letter. Poem.
Oh,
Of course. New Zealand soldier not write poems.
not really.
Then how you say in here?
We're ways, I suppose. No, other ways. Music.
Hey, you buggers. What's this thing? Ooh, no writing notes in class.
Leave us alone for a moment, won't you, Jacko?
Oh, you know what the teacher says, Tiny. Unless it's a bit of a special bump visit.
Oi, you bastard! Why could you damn well try and see things from their point of view for once?
Bloody good reason why, Tiny. This is my country for starters.
Yes, well, you see, the fact of the matter, sir, is that we have to find some point of balance. That's true of everything. Nature, human body, military outfit, camp of the sort that we've got here. That's the whole problem we're faced with. Treat them as we treat men vaguely like ourselves, and they think we're a pack of morons. Treat them as they expect to be treated, and we're becoming everything we're supposed to be fighting against. Go along with that?
So,
By the same token, try to relax a bit. Make the odd joke. We're letting ourselves down because they're not taking us seriously as soldiers. Treat them with what they think is dignity, which comes from damn Charlies in their own eyes.
yes, sir.
Once you do have the respect of these fellows, you're virtually home and hose. But from my own point of view, if I may touch on that, it means keeping aloof in a way I know chaps in other ranks aren't able to do. I've been reading this book by an American. The point he makes, really, is why the Emperor has them all, as you say, in a headlock. It's because they simply never see him. Even when he is around, it's all a matter of heads down, buttocks up, that sort of thing, anyway. It seems to me that respect, obedience, all the rest of it, is in inverse proportion to the accessibility of those in command. You see the reason behind that?
Yes, sir. I do, sir.
What problem is there?
The cooks, sir.
What about them? No belly aching over food, is it?
The Japanese cooks, sir. They say they can't cook rice the way they like it with the utensils they have.
Oh, good God, what a thing to complain about.
Shall we stroll over and you can talk to them about it, sir?
Talk with them is the last damn thing I'd like to do. Tell them to submit something. In writing, would you?
It would go a whole lot quicker if you just talk to us, sir.
Down on paper. No room for confusion that way, eh?
I'll pass you on then, sir.
Oi, Paul!
You know the first thing I thought of when I got this letter from my wife? When I was a kid, we sat on the farm in Taranaki. I never left the city, I suppose, so I was 7, 8. So anyway, we went to this farm and it was like going back to Eden. Where the mountain rose up there. I've never seen snow before. You know, I used to stand on that veranda and think, that's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. The other kids used to think I was a bit soft. But anyway, my uncle said to me, "Here, look after this car for me, will you? It's yours now." The way I used to dote on it after that. I let it slobber all over my fingers, lick my face, and I even feed it from a bottle. He used to run up to me the second I opened the back door. Anyway, we went back home to the city. I spent the next term thinking about this calf of mine. It meant more to me than any other copper I'd ever had. You know, they used to sing in church about the new and shining Jerusalem, and I used to think, I know what that is, all right. And they'd talk about the Lamb of God, and I'd think about this calf. This pretty hair is perfect. You know the way kids get confused. Next holidays I need to go back. Something's wrong the minute I get there. It's midsummer. There's hardly a scrap of snow on the mountain. It's just sort of this ash filling half the sky. So I go to my uncle. I say, "Where's the calf you gave me, Uncle?" And he roars his head off. I remember I could see the fillings in the back of his teeth. So I said, "Come on, Uncle, where is he?" He said, "Someone's eaten that fella months ago already." Don't play like you didn't know that. Heck, you probably ate him yourself. I don't cry. Know that? But I knew it then and there. Knew there was evil. It was as real as his hand. And there was a guardian angel with a sword that would never let me go back. Evil's a netting that crosses everything, you see. I mean, what I'm trying to say is, how can we know what anything means? Everyone thinks they know, but everywhere, evil's this way, evil's that way. How can we possibly know what anything means? I can't.
Shuriken, Christmas stuff.
English stuff.
Christmas stuff.
It's a long way till Christmas, Lord.
You say you wanted to see me, Corporal.
Yeah, it's the prisoners, sir. I just wonder if we quite appreciate the mood some of them are in.
Tell me more.
Well, you see, as long as they were confused, there was no trouble. But now that they've been here for a while, I suppose the old order sets itself up again. The loyal officers, NCO workers at the bottom. The structure's there again. Rule Japan.
You'll excuse me, Corporal, but there are two things that I operate on. And one of those is that I was a soldier before many of you chaps were even born. But I'm not a bully, and I don't panic. To my mind, those are just some of the things that destroy the machinery of military life.
And the other?
Other?
Well, you said there were two things. You operated on two things.
Right, the other. Look, I know I can boned up on the lingo, but I do know how the Jap mind works. Great fighters. Only so long as they go here. Swarm of bees isn't a bad comparison. Jab, sting, attack. but mindless. Not a lot going on up here, that's the story.
I think there might be a bit more to it than that, sir.
This is why we can't lose and they can't win. It's moral fiber I'm on about.
Sir. Dinner from your sister. How's she making out?
Still pretty crooked.
Hope he's alright though?
Yeah, just like his old man. Well, that's what the letter says. But she goes and calls him Tom. That's the trouble now. You know, keeps your mind on it all the time. I wouldn't cry that much. Can't change. He kura tangata. He kore, he hokia. Anyway, there's other jokers tonight.
They're layering it up in the mess, trying to do poor Ernie a good turn.
What? This missus walks out. It's like giving him a hangover as well.
They must have heard the old man's in town tonight, addressing the League of Empire Loyalists. Basically sitting through that one.
Empire Loyalists? What's that? A pub?
They're people that love the army tie.
Ah, well, many of our mates there, eh?
Well, like the old man said, don't think there's many of us real army material, do you? Not crack troops, not frontline stuff.
It's better off here, Tony.
Well, sooner on that here, the happier I'll be. Don't worry about that.
Back to our schoolroom with the story.
Well, anywhere would do me out of this mocker. You know, it's a bit I hate more than anything else, though. The moment you put on a uniform, you're not a man anymore. Don't think like one. Certainly don't act like one. Just part of a machine that someone else is steering about.
King's uniform and all. You ain't proud of that, Tony?
You're a great one to ask, aren't you? How long since you've like put firing in it?
How's this was? Ah, mate, you got the wrong body this time, mate. Oh, jeez.
Oh, here they come. The licentious soldiers.
Oh, stop it, Chicken. Stop. Can't laugh anymore. Oh my god.
And this man with tears. It's the preacher's here.
Oh, come round, old son, come round. I got a personal joke just for you, eh?
Just get it over with, for God's sake.
Right. Anyone guesses before I get to the end gets a month's leave on the spot. Or a tick up the bum from the old man, yeah? That's the second prize.
Guys, gotta be 3 prizes.
All right. Third prize, bash at the hoary shield at the post office, eh? The one with a snatch like a mouse trap. Oh, sorry, the interrupt. Get away, or break your neck. Oh, testy are we?
He means it, Paul.
This is the longest bloody joke I've ever heard.
Right, last time then, music. Everybody listening? All white folks, hey! Black boys! You play terrible! You play green!
Alright, go do for the 19th. Everybody said their prayers.
Prayers? Jesus!
In for a scorcher today, Ed? Glad it's not me swinging one of these things.
Right. On your feet, men.
Come on. No one's keen to work in this weather. Who's going to be the lucky first man for the show, eh? You, Sport? Don't be a pain in the arse, you jokers.
Never seen him this early.
Hey, Adachi. I don't know why you're sitting here when you should be with the other officers. Seeing as you're here, though, may as well set an example. Bit of the old, honourable shuffle.
He won't do it.
What do you mean he's not going to do it? You haven't got a choice.
Ooh, you can always tell when they're fair dinkum. But they don't line up for that for nothing.
Look, some of you know English as good as I do, so don't pull this stunt, eh? It's all going to land us in shit street once it gets to higher-ups. We all know that.
They won't do it.
Yeah, they don't look too obliging, I'll give you that. Alright, K-Air to Sukuru. K-Air to Sukuru. Adachi, May-Air Sasumi.
Joe.
Kaida!
Hey, what's this then? It's a bit early for sport, ain't it? And what's this with the tea towels round the sweet caper?
If they want a conference, they'll only speak with the Commandant.
Conference? Bloody hell.
You won't get that moved on.
Koden Kauji.
Rero Kaio Social Tesoro Ka. Request the adjutant to come out when you're tired. You want them in a bit of stay where you are.
They, could haul them out one at a time?
There's actually more of them than us, Mom, if you hadn't noticed. And they're also fitter than us. Also, they don't care what happens.
On the level, are they tiny?
Yeah, well, it's the closest we'll know what this whole bloody war's about, Jacko. They're going to take some moving, sir.
Prisoners, stand! There's only one thing I want to say to you, and that's that no one here is trying to act unpleasantly. But there's a simple issue here. You've got to do as you're told. Is that perfectly clear to them?
They know what the situation is, sir.
Inform the Commandant, will you, Terry?
Sir.
Conference, please.
You can have all the talking in the world as soon as you move. Do they understand that?
Yeah, that's perfectly clear to them. Look, the Commandant will not agree to see you until you first agree to work. You're going to have to go along with that.
Thank you, Corporal. You see, once you give in to their demands for a powwow, you virtually awarded them a free kick. And that's why I'm afraid why it's not on. Plenty talky after worky. Simple as that. Please tell the adjutant to proceed as normal.
Sir.
I've been reading about them this very minute. Most compulsive people in the world's ethnological museum.
Jerry?
Instructions to proceed as usual.
Thank you, Jerry. Try them again, interpreter.
The Commandant will not agree to see you until you first agree to work.
It is our agreement not to accept work as you instruct.
How determined are they?
I think they'll follow orders once we mean what we say, sir.
Right.
Squad?
Yep. Corporal, order the perimeter squad. Armed and on standby.
Yes, sir.
As you said, they'll move when they see we mean what we say.
They must have decided on this last night, though, that we've got to make a stand.
This isn't a bloody holiday camp. They're choosing a damn stupid way to learn that.
Well, I've tried to get it across to them.
We're not in the business to explain it to them, whether they agree with us or not.
Well, what's our next step then?
If it's a test of strength they want, then we just have to show it to them. Bloody absurd situation we have to get into. Soldier, take position up on top of the latrine roof. You can cover a lot from up there. Corporal Jackson, stand the prisoner acting as spokesman. Terry, to the Commandant's hut. Inform him of the situation, and then I am waiting on orders.
Sir.
many of them has this kind of thing tucked away.
Shall I tell the others to step forward?
Do you expect them to tell the truth about that sort of thing?
We could try one of their own senior officers, just bring them across.
And let them know we can't handle this on our own.
Sorry, Captain.
This jamboree's been going on long enough. A decision has to be made.
As I said previously, Corporal, there are no further instructions. The adjutant may proceed as usual.
Sir.
Jerry?
No further instructions, sir. Proceed as usual.
Lieutenant Adachi, step forward.
Mayor Susumi.
Step forward.
Mayor Susumi.
I will not go. My heart does not know what to do for the rest. If the New Zealanders use force, we have only our bare hands. Will we use what strength we have? Perhaps some great and fitting sacrifice must be made for us to see things clear. We are prepared.
Lieutenant Adachi, step forward.
I shall fire one shot above your head. Should the prisoner still not comply, I will then fire to wound. There shall be no fire until the order is given. For the last time, Corporal.
Adachi, Mayor Susumi.
Prepare to fire.
Adachi, step forward.
Jesus!
Natsukuseya, Somo no Doro, Gaiyumi, Naata.
Behold the summer grass, all that remains of the dreams of the warriors.